Hello and welcome back. As always, my name is Laser, and some brand new information for the Necromancer Xul just popped up. We now know his full abilities and we also know his talents. What we don't know, I'll say this from the start, we don't know the scalings, we don't know the cooldowns, and we don't know the flat amounts. But we just know what everything does, what are the actual effects. This information was given by Jade Martin of Blizzard Dev to the Reno Gazette Journal, of all places. Okay, link in the description for the source. Anyway, we're just gonna jump right into the trait Race Skeleton. When a nearby enemy minion dies, it becomes a Skeletal Warrior for 15 seconds. Up to 4 Skeletal Warriors can be active at once. You will not be able to have more than 4 at a time. Basic abilities, first one we got on our queue is Spectral Scythe. Summon a scythe at target location that travels towards you after 1 second delay, damaging enemies in its path. So you read this one right. It's a reverse skill shot. Okay, you will get to choose the location where it'll start, and then it will travel to you, damaging all enemies in its path. W ability is Cursed Strike. Once activated, your basic attacks over the next 4 seconds deal damage in a wide arc and reduce the attack speed of enemies hit by 50% for 2 seconds. So a bit of anti-AA effect over here. Okay, we can slow the attack speed of our enemies. But first we gotta hit them with Cursed Strike activate. It's a little bit of an AoE arc in front of you. E ability is Bone Prison. After a 2-second delay, root target enemy in place for 2 seconds. This might not sound like a big idea, like some big deal, but it's a targeted root. It's targeted. We don't know the range yet. I'm guessing, from what information we have from the Blizzard devs, it doesn't have a huge range on it, so you won't be able to root the target from across the room, but still it's more like melee range. But still, a targeted root from my point of view is a big deal. Also, it's worth noting that Xul starts off with 1 additional ability on your 1 key. Of course, you can rebind that to whatever you want. You will have Bone Armor. Activate to gain a shield equal to 25% of your maximum health for 3 seconds. So that's a sizable shield you start with. I would love to know the scaling, the actual damage these things do, and the actual cooldown. What's the cooldown on Bone Armor? Xul is set to launch next week. Okay, so we should have it on, I do believe, March 1st or 29th, something like that. Anyway, next Tuesday, and we will have more information there. But for the time being, this is what we got, and I thought you guys might be interested in. Heroics, first one is Poison Nova. After a short delay, release poisonous missiles that deal massive poison damage over 10 seconds to all enemies hit. It's worth noting here that it's not all the area around you. These are actual projectiles, so if a hero is between your projectiles, they will not get hit. Okay, so that's important to note here. Second heroic ability is Skeleton Mages. Summon 4 Skeleton Mages in a line that attack nearby enemies and slow them by 30% for 2 seconds, last up to 15 seconds. So the way I understood this from the Blizzard devs, again, you'll have 4 Skeleton Mages in a line. These guys will start attacking, okay, they have a ranged attack, and around them there's this slowing aura. Okay, if you walk through that aura, that's how you get the slow on. It is possible to go between the mages. They don't form an impassable barrier like Tassadar's wall, for example, his force wall. Okay, but you will get slowed by that aura. Let's move on to the first level, level 1. Let's see what kind of talents we got here. First one, the level 1 talents are all about his Bone Armor, his separate activated ability. Let's see what we got. Backlash, first option. When Bone Armor expires, nearby enemies take 15% of their maximum health as damage. That's huge. 15% of their maximum health is absolutely bloody huge. Again, we're gonna have to see the cooldown on this specific ability, because think of it on a chokehold or on any tank. For 15% is a big deal. Activate, again, we got Shackler. While Bone Armor is active, nearby enemies are slowed by 30% for 1 second. Now, I don't know, this one reads kind of funny. While Bone Armor is active. We know that Bone Armor can be active for 3 seconds, so will they be slow for 30% for 3 seconds, or is it just 30% for 1 second? Unclear at this point. And the fighter one is Shade. While Bone Armor is active, you enable all basic attacks, but its cooldown is increased by 10 seconds. What the hell? While Bone Armor is active, you evade all... Yeah, goddamn my font, I know. While Bone Armor is active, you evade all basic attacks, but its cooldown is increased by 10 seconds. So a sizable increase there to 10 seconds. but we evade all basic attacks. Again, big deal. He looks like this massive anti-AA hero at this point, okay? If you got a Rainer on the enemy team, well, tough luck for him and all that good stuff. So again, massive anti-AA abilities for Xul. Level 4, Q Def's Reach increases Spectral Scythe range by 20%, so a flat out increase for your Q ability. Again, that's the reverse skill shot. E ability is Jailer's Bone Prism summons 2 Skeleton Warriors that fixate on the target for 15 seconds. These Skeletal Warriors do not count towards your maximum race skeleton count. So we already know we can have 4 because of our trait. If we pick up this talent, we'll be able to have 6. However, these 2 guys will fixate on the target of your E ability Bone Prism. That's again the targeted root effect. And final option at level 4, we got Targul's Essence. Raise Skeleton restores mana. So this is probably gonna be picked up only if we actually have mana issues on Xul, which we don't know at this point, but there you go. Level 7, first option is Harvest Vitality. Cursed Strike, heal you for each enemy hero hit. Okay, cool. So again, we activate our W and we will get hit for each enemy hero hit. How much and what's the cooldown we don't know, but a little bit of sustain for Xul through his W ability. Another talent for our W ability at level 7, Weaken, increases Cursed Strike attack speed slow to 75%. Huge slow on the attack speed. If you put this on a Grey main, well, what is he gonna do? On a Grey main that didn't build Cocktail, okay, on an AA Grey main, let's say. Okay, so again, a very, very big slow to auto attacks there. Final option at level 7, we got Ratma's Blessing, gain health whenever a skeleton is summoned. So whenever it's summoned, you gain a little bit of health. We don't know how much, if it's percentage based, if it's a flat amount, how's the scaling, and so on and so forth. But again, he looks more like a tank at this point. This is another sustain ability for Xul. Very interesting. So anti-AA, a lot of sustain. This is what I'm seeing so far. I didn't see many pusher talents, and he's a specialist. In theory, at least, specialists are the ones that push lane. But we all know that not exactly to be true. Moving on, oh, that was the wrong key. That was the wrong key. There we go, level 13. Okay, at level 10, obviously, the 2 heroics we already talked about. Level 13, Decrepify, first option. Spectral Scythe slows enemies by 40% for 3 seconds, so all the enemies hit. I'm guessing, okay, this is an AoE skill shot. Once again, 40% for 3 seconds, that's a big slow. That's a big slow. Again, he looks more and more like a frontliner, like some sort of a tank. W, Giant's Curse, or a Bruiser. Giant's Curse. Curse Strike deal an additional 2% of an enemy hero's maximum health as damage. Again with the percentage damage. With a tank busting, don't you know? Okay, maybe get Xul with Rainer in the party, increase that attack speed, or through some other means, maybe an aperture hat and all whatnot, and he'll be able to rip apart some tanks. This is what I'm getting from reading this. Trait, Corpse Explosion. Finally blessed. Skeletal Warriors explode on death, dealing damage in a small area. Damage is doubled versus non-heroic enemies. Finally, an actual pusher talent. But then again, we don't really control these little skeletons, okay? They will attack enemies and they will go to the lane where Xul is pushing. That's what I read, at least, about these little skeletons. You don't get to control them, you don't get to micro them. So this is a flat pusher talent here. Level 16, Executioner. Basic attacks deal 40% more damage against slow, rooted, or stunned targets. Executioner. A talent for our Q ability. Flowing Wounds reduces Spectral Scythe's cooldown by 4 seconds if it hits an enemy hero. So we'll get a cooldown reduction if we hit a hero. I'm guessing this is gonna be like most of the time. I think it's gonna take players a little while to get used to the reverse part of the skill shot, but in theory, it shouldn't be that hard to dodge, should it? We don't know the delay yet. I need to get my hands on him. Ability Amplify damage. Enemies rooted by Bone Prison become vulnerable for 2 seconds. So flat out vulnerable. Okay, the vulnerable effect at level 16, nothing really interesting there. Taking 25% increased damage, that's what vulnerable does. If you're gonna need it, if you don't have a Tyrande or a Sylvanas who can AoE apply the vulnerable effect, there you go. Trait, Skeleton Mastery, increases maximum Skeleton Warriors count to 6. Finally, we get more skeletons. And increases their damage by 100%. Okay, that looks important. That looks significant. I am wondering, does this will apply to the 2 skeletons I can put on somebody and they will fixate? Will the damage actually affect them as well? That's the question I got with this one. This looks cool. And it can be used as a pusher talent. Again, we can couple it with Corpse Explosion from level 13, and maybe we can build Side Pusher Xul. But obviously, everybody's want to go get in there and deal damage with him. Yes, I know. Level 20 final talent, the upgrade to the first heroic ability, Call of the Grave. Enemies hit by Poison Nova now also take an additional 1% of their maximum health as damage every second. For how long? For the full duration of Poison Nova. Okay, Poison Nova again is a dot, okay? Poison Nova is a massive damage over time ability, but you know the problem with damage over time and sustained damage in general in Heroes of the Storm. We got plenty of regen, we got plenty of healing, we got plenty of damage mitigation. In general, sustained damage dealers such as Lunara are not favored, are not favored in comparison to burst damage dealers such as Li Ming, for example, or how Kael'thas used to be. Not anymore, he's trash now. But anyway, moving on, second option at level 20, Raised Mage. When a nearby enemy hero dies, a Frost Mage will rise from the corpse to fight for you. Cool. Also increases Frost Mage slow amount to 50%. Okay, so better slow from 30 to 50. And if we kill a hero, if an enemy hero dies, we don't have to kill it, okay? We will get a free skeleton race from that corpse, specifically. This looks cool. Okay, Mortal Wound for our Q ability, Spectral Scythe. Enemies hit by Spectral Scythe receive 75% reduced healing for 4 seconds. This is very interesting to me, and I'll tell you why. I can't remember right now on the spot another anti-healing debuff in Heroes of the Storm. Okay, this is an anti-healing effect, less healing for a specific target. Seal the deal. No problem. Your Rhaegar's got ancestral healing. I don't care. Mortal Wound on him. 75% less. That's a big deal. And again, I don't remember any healing reduction effects in Heroes of the Storm. So I think this is a premiere for HotS. And final one, we got another active Bone Spear. This is again a separate ability. Deal damage to enemies in a line. Yes, I need footage. I need to play to understand how this works. How big is the cooldown? How large is the damage? And so on and so forth. And how is the actual skill shot? Well guys, that's all the information that is available at this point. I hope you liked it. Okay, I know it's a bit of a different video, but then again, I thought you might be interested as to know the latest updates for Xul. As always, my name has been Leyzar. Thank you guys for watching. Like, favorite, share, and subscribe if you enjoy the content. Don't if you don't, and I'll see you again soon.